Whoa, yes. Hello. Okay, let me give this a shot and see. Whoop. Seems like I can hear myself through my own mic. Awesome. That's good. Awesome. Hi. Testing out some new ideas. Let me turn down the desktop audio a little bit on y'all's end. Here we go. Listening to just a little bit of chill hop tunes, and we're gonna do some crochet. So let's see. I think I can fix this out so that you can actually see what I'm working on. Yeah, there it is. So we're making a, let's move this a little bit. There we go. Little mug cozy gift for, oops, there we go. Little mug cozy gift I'm making for my uncle for a little family secret Santa. So how many rows am I up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. We're going up to 28. So this should be fun. There's like pretty much no way he's actually watching me do this. But just in case you are, dear uncle, look away, because this is your Christmas gift. Hello, Ryan. That is just fine. All modes of interaction are welcome here. Hold on a second. I think I doubled where I should have singled. Oops. Yeah, okay. I know what I did wrong. This is always kind of interesting because usually when I'm doing this, it's like out of the view of other people. Oh, chat box. Are you still working? There it is. I should be capturing what I'm working on. What if I try this? Okay, yeah, it stayed. I'm not sure why that didn't show up then. Okay. I think that should fix it. Okay. Sweet. Oh, you've been working on a one-shot? Nice. Is that the thing that you posted about in world building? Because that looked interesting. Mr. Puddins! Hello, friend. Yes, my availability is January. It's busy times in the Casa de Nymeria. How are you, Alex? It's really great to have you here. I'm just doing like midday chill and chat stuff. Making a little gift thing for my uncle. I'm doing good, thanks. So I went to Joann's the other day. And I got a bunch of buttons to use for this project. So like we've got little snowflakes. These little ones, which are super cute. Hold on, let me do it there so you can see it. It says handmade for you with love. Those are kind of my favorites. And then, what are the other ones I was gonna use for him? If I can find it amidst all of the, oh, there we go. Little garden gnomes. Because I want to make him one that says chillin' with my gnomies. Because it's got snowflakes and gnomes, chillin' gnomies. Oh, that makes sense, not wanting to share your one-shot ideas with potential players. I always forget about that. Like, I'm honestly surprised I haven't spoiled big things. Yeah, I feel that. I also spoil stuff on accident all the time. It happens. Yeah, based off of your art. These are actually really easy to make. Like, you only need to know how to do, what, like a chain and a single crochet and a double crochet. Like, this is a really good beginner project for people crocheting, or if you're like me and you just want to like have something that's not super mentally taxing. I try to do this thing where whenever I start a new crochet project, I'm learning something new. Like, I'm practicing a new stitch or learning a new technique, something like that. But this is just for funsies, you know? Why do I keep doubling when I need to have a single? There we go. PCs pooped their pants and I dropped my Bone Devil art. That can be fun though. What it's going to be... Oh, do I have an example of one? Yeah, let me go get that. I'll be right back. So this is an example of one that I made for a friend. It's a little mug cozy, right? So you've got the little button. You can unbutton it, and then you put it around a mug. Actually, I have a mug with me. So like tea mug, right? It's just full of really hot tea. Let me not make a mess. And then you put it around the mug. Well, this one's a little big for that, but you button it in like a little sweater. And it's like a little clothes for your mug. And you can make them in all sizes and different types of yarn. Right now we're just using I think this is a bulky weight, like Red Lion yarn from Joann's. It's pretty cheap. It's maybe like $5 for a giant skein. So like, this isn't it, but this is similar size, right? Like $5 for a big skein of art, of yarn, of art, whatever, potential art. This is about what I have left of it now. So I had something like 3 pounds of this yarn. I was using it to make a blanket for my husband Sean for his birthday. And then I had a bunch of this like leftover yarn, and I was like, what am I gonna do with it? Hey, if you really want one of these, Alex, like, you're on my list. I'll make you one. Like, as long as you give me an address to mail it to. You can shoot me a DM, but I'll make you one. But yeah, my family does Secret Santa for Christmas every year. And I got my uncle... Every single day we send each other Snapchats in like my family's group chat of what coffees we're all drinking. Coffee, tea, etc. And so since, you know, it can be kind of hard to shop for adults who can afford to buy things when they need them, I thought, why not make him something nice? Something that is just cute and festive and cheerful, and I'm probably going to, well, you'll see when I do the trim at the end, but I'm probably going to trim this in white-ish. Your family started doing that too? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hold on, let me just... So similar concept, this is going to be the outside trim color. For the one that I've made already, you do like a little single crochet trim on the outside. So you can see how like the edges of the stitches are kind of bumpy here. So when you do the trim, it just makes it look all nice and pretty. So I'm doing it in like a little complementary shade of white / cream. I don't know what you would call that. White cream ecru. Yeah, we've been doing this for the past, God, I don't even know, because I have a pretty big family. And it's just way easier. Plus, with very few exceptions, they all live in the same city, and most of them live in the same state. So everybody who, like, can make it back home for Christmas and for the holidays and stuff does, and then everybody's gonna open gifts together on Christmas Eve at the same time. Except for us, we will not be there. We will be celebrating my mother-in-law's birthday with her. Because her birthday is, in fact, the 24th of December. Also, incidentally, my mug, which so kindly provided the fashion inspiration for this mug cozy, is filled with a new type of tea that I have not tried yet. And I'm very curious to, but I'm also a little skeptical because it is a coffee flavored tea. And normally if I'm drinking tea, I want it to be tea-like. And if I'm drinking coffee, I want it to be coffee-like, not the other way around. But we will see. Steal obscure song titles is true. Having had you as a GM, yes, can confirm. Also, because this is my first time doing it and we did a new scene collection, how's the music? Can you all hear it? I think that it's balanced pretty well with the voice. We're just listening to some good old royalty-free chill hop music. I think it's the Winter Essentials playlist or something like that. Are you listening to your own? Okay, good. I mean, you know. No shade if you're listening to your own. Tell me, I want to hear. New band you love. Uh-huh. No, hit me, I want to hear. And I'm like, these lyrics sound really trans. Oh God. You are speaking my language. And one of their leads is an NB. Oh, that's so awesome. That is so exciting. I'm really happy that you got that experience. It's always so cool when like new music just speaks to you like that. Okay, let's count our rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Cool, we're getting to 28. That's the thing that they don't tell you about crochet when you get started, right? Is that you're gonna spend a lot of time counting and then realizing how much you don't know how to count properly anymore. Music is there in the background, audible and not overwhelming. Cool. That's what I want. I want it to just be like vibing music and not stress people out, because I personally cannot deal with music being too loud. It fucks with my hard of hearingness and it makes it hard to understand conversations, and I do not want to cause that level of auditory stress on a stream. Described as Alice in Chains meets Weezer. Yes, please send this to me, Alex. I really am down for that. That sounds awesome. So, I also made my first ever reel yesterday. Is that what the kids these days are calling it? Because I'm officially too old to adopt any new social media platforms, so it's essentially a TikTok, but without me having to download a new app, because that's work, and I cannot. I cannot adopt a new social media. It's just not gonna happen. But I made my first reel, which was about, like, rating my yarn stash. I have a lot of yarn, y'all. Like, I've been crocheting pretty consistently for about the last 4 years. I technically learned how to do it as a kid / teenager, but I didn't really have the enjoyment of it or the patience for it for a long time. As a kid and a teenager, I was way more into cross stitching and embroidery and like hemp work, which is not what it sounds like, but you know, like making hemp bracelets or hemp as fiber arts. I was not as into the crochet then, or knitting. Like, technically I know how to knit, but I really don't. I don't remember anything about it. Yeah, I am one of the kids these days to you. It's all relative, right? I mean, like, it's definitely very relative to the group that you're in, right? I mean, I always used to kind of laugh at the fact that I was very frequently the youngest person in the friend group, and now I'm very frequently the oldest person in the friend group. And I mean, even among my own siblings, there's a pretty wide range of ages. Like, all my bio siblings, there's like a 10-year spread. So it's also funny to me that, like, yeah, I am one of the kids these days, and I'm, you know, close to the point where I'm like looking at kids of my own, and I'm like, huh, everybody is kids to somebody. Nothing is new under the sun. You had to learn how Instagram worked for an old job. Yeah, Instagram, I feel like, is the last social media that I adopted that I had, like, good proficiency with, right? Technically, I have Snapchat, but I would not use it if it weren't for the fact that my family has their group chat there. That's literally the reason why I still have it downloaded. Regarding age, I actually don't care. As long as you're good people and I can relate to you in some way, good enough for me. I feel very much the same. I feel very much the same. I think also the internet has done a lot to sort of, I wouldn't say collapse those age differences necessarily, but it certainly has done a lot to at least have, you know, people hanging out and socializing in, like, more mixed groups than I think perhaps previous generations have. And I really think that, like, geek culture is also a big part of that, because, you know, geeks are primarily congregating together via choice and shared interests, and now a lot of geek culture, you know, as we know it in the modern day, has been going on for really the better part of, like, 60 years at this point. I mean, I'm thinking about, like, Doctor Who and the original series of Star Trek, right? As being, like, yeah, comes from parental figures and stuff, exactly. You know, so like there was already an intergenerational thing going with like Star Wars and, you know, Star Trek, and like I got into all that stuff because of my mom. My mom was the Trekkie, my mom's the Doctor Who fan. My dad is still into those things too, but my dad's geekiness is definitely more of the like, I'm the history nerd and I'm gonna go to like the museum or the national park or whatever and geek out about that. But I definitely got the collecting bug from my dad. Yeah, comic books, video games, exactly. Interestingly enough, neither of my parents were super into comic books. But I did get into those. I didn't get into comics until college, actually. It's another unpleasant side effect of geek culture, is that being visibly femme in a comic store, at least the ones that I had access to at the time, was not fun. First geek in your family, neither your mother or father are into geeky stuff, gaming, sci-fi, etc. It all started with me. Hey, props to you. As long as you're having fun, that's important. I do hope that when I have kids of my own, though, that they're going to be into geeky stuff, at least in some respect. I don't expect, you know, that they'll be interested in all of the same things as me, because that would be a ridiculous assumption to put onto a small child. They're going to be their own person, but I do hope that they like geek stuff. Same thing with music. I come from a really musical family, as does my husband. You know, like my mother-in-law's a flute player. Both of my in-laws and like the rest of that side of the family is super into music, and Dad was a bassist. Yeah. Baby G, it's time to play Test Big Damn Heroes 4th edition. Oh god, I will cry. Ooh, you know what? That coffee flavored tea, I just took a sip of it over there. That's actually pretty damn good. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 3 more rows. Yay! Oh, dude, my music taste is also very interesting. You want to know something wild? I actually don't know how many people on the internet know this about me, because a lot has happened since then, but I used to be a competitive opera singer. Like, I would go around doing music competitions of, like, arias and different, you know, theatrical interpretations of my own of operatic music. So, like, I was a big classical music nerd as a kid and a teenager. Yeah, mentioning it in Bloody Portrait. Okay, that makes total sense. Yeah, so I have always really had a thing for classical music. And then, you know, with my family growing up, being raised in the church, the natural, you know, conclusion for a musical family in the church is choir and instruments and stuff. So I grew up with a lot of that. I was very fortunate that, you know, my parents were able to give us things like piano lessons. You know, I learned how to play the piano when I was like 7. I was never, like, my sister Bridget basically, like, could have been a concert pianist. She decided she wanted to be a teacher instead, but, like, she is so talented. I can play the piano, but I don't have the same skill as she does, because she always just worked harder than I did. Yeah. She worked harder than I did. That was her big love. For me, that was always singing. You know, I worked very hard at singing. So I do love the piano. I love to play the piano, and I've, like, recently started getting back into composing for it. Is the term interesting? Yeah. Parents will never understand trading card games. Yeah. My parents are very supportive, but they don't really, they've never played a ttrpg. I want to change that because it's something I'd like to introduce them to. Yeah. But then they were fine, it wasn't drugs and shit. Exactly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Look at this. Woo. We've got the length that we want. This is about the length, the 28 rows plus the foundation. This is maybe like a foot long. This is about big enough to be a sweater for a decent size like diner mug. All right, so now here comes the fun part. We slip stitch here because now we're gonna make the little buttonhole. Fun fact, I would way much rather crochet buttonholes than sew them literally any other way. Because buttonholes are a pain in the butt tin hole. Get it? Chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch and in each of the next 3 stitches. Cool. 1, 2, 3. I know. Like it was something that I always loved, Alex, but I didn't realize like how unusual and like super fortunate it was for me that I got that. And like I really do owe a lot of the ability to do that to my grandfather, because I know that he really like made a lot of that possible financially. Because that was something that like my parents really wanted for us, but I know for a fact they couldn't afford for a lot of that. But my grandfather had some money and he did things like, you know, he bought us a piano, he helped us stay in those lessons and stuff. And yeah, that's how I learned how to read music and all that good stuff. So self-taught for a long time, yeah. Except for the piano and then like voice, and I did chorus in college and stuff. Like I did the women's chorale. Funny how many of us turned out to be like NB, trans, gender nonconforming, etc. But it was called the women's chorale, even if it was really more appropriate to call my section the gender chaos / high femme chorale. Yeah, I just used what they had. Oh, dude, my siblings and I had like a toy keyboard that we would use that had a bunch of like sound effects programmed into it, and we would make like tape recordings of ourselves and then mess with the audio and like do all this weird shit where we would like speed things up and slow things down and be all like, ooh, we're making weird disco. Oh, that's really a shame, Ryan, that happened, because I think that that's just wrong. I really do think that anyone can sing and anyone can make music. It's something that all humans do across cultures and across time, and that person was wrong to say that. And I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. Not like sorry because it was my fault, but, you know, sympathetically sorry. Because that's just a shitty thing to say. Look at this. Real quick, we got a little buttonhole right there. All right, so we're gonna single crochet together twice. That's 1. That's 2. Do not fasten off. Okay, so now we're gonna do the little white accent trim thingamabob. It's true, anyone can be a talented musician. I think that people are born with an innate sense of music and rhythm. You know, just look at like how little kids respond to music. Nobody's teaching them to be on the beat. They just are. It isn't until you get older and I think you develop a sense of, I don't know, self-consciousness or something. Something like that. That you begin to doubt yourself, and that's that's part of making art, but it's also really a shame when that comes from other people. You know, I think some self-doubt is just normal when you're making art. Yeah, self-awareness, self-consciousness. So like, you've ever watched like a young kid dancing to the music, they just don't care. They're just doing it for the love of the game. And it isn't until we get older and we learn to hide that spontaneity and that creativity, which is a darn shame if you ask me. But yeah, I used to teach like kids dance and stuff for years. That was a job that I had, and it was just always a lot of fun. I'm fixing a giant knot that came in this yarn because I dropped it. Okay. Slip knot. Crochet slip knot, but that's a good musical reference. Yeah, same with sports. And I will say that I have always been an extremely below average athlete, and it's only been just now, right, that like I've been getting back into things that I enjoyed doing, again, just for the love of the game, like swimming and dancing. And, you know, when it becomes safe to do so again, I really want to do something fun, like, you know, join a community kickball league or like a swim team for adults or something, just to like get back into the fun of having a body and moving it around and not having to worry about like competition and being the best. And I don't know, I think that's a shame that a lot of that stuff really becomes about competition when you hit, you know, teenagedom or a certain level of childhood. And it's like, no. Love watching women's roller derby. Oh, dude, that's like one of my very favorite sports. I freaking love roller derby. It's unfortunately not something that I can physically do. Just because of, you know, some health issues. It would not be a good idea for me to do that to my body. But I am more than happy to cheer on skaters, to be there in the crowd. Maybe one day if I ever get good enough at skating, being like a ref or an official or something. Yeah, smaller league pro wrestling. There is a local promotion here that I went to a show for. Oh my god, it was so fun. Some of the people that were in it were like high school kids, right? And they were having so much fun. It's like, it doesn't matter what it is. I just enjoy watching people who are there to just have a good time and enjoy what they're doing. That's really special. So, looky here. You got this single crochet row that's going around, and it's gonna be a nice, lovely little trim. Yeah, timekeeper, one of the NSOs in the middle, exactly, yeah. Again, when that's safe to do so, because our teams are not currently, I think, skating for obvious pandemic-related reasons, but maybe I'll look into that. Doing this aspect of it is nice because the only thing I have to remember is that I have to do double stitches in the corners. Miss playing lacrosse and hockey. Oh man. Ice skating? That's something that, like, I love ice skating, but again, I'm bad at it. I'm getting better, but I'm not good at it. You know, I'm not proficient like my husband who used to work at a rink, you know, like he's got... But the reason why he's better at it is that he's just spent more time doing it. You know? There's no shame in not having spent as much time doing something as other people have. That's just life. That's just how it happens. And, you know, like growing up in North Florida, there's literally not much opportunity for winter sports. It's just not a thing. But this is all to say that, you know, getting into this talk about how it's fun to be bad at things and try new things and pick up new skills and hobbies. I'm just going to keep adjusting my sleeves as I get like hot and cold and hot and cold. Is that's really how I started with crochet. Funnily enough, because I really wanted to try something new and learn something new, and I thought it would be cool to do this because what I really wanted to do when I started getting into this 4 years ago, like in earnest, was I really wanted to make a dice bag for a friend. I just was like, look, all these people, you know, some of them can draw, some of them can do all this and that. They have all of these skills and talents and whatnot, and I don't really have any of those abilities, but god damn it, I'm gonna learn. And that was why I picked up crochet. I made a dice bag, did a little art swap for a friend, or with a friend, and then I was hooked. Pun. Accidental pun. Didn't mean to do that, but there it is. And now 4 years later, it's like, there's been so many projects. Like, if you stacked up all of the projects I've made this year, it would be a ton of yarn. Like, a weighted blanket's worth of yarn. Easily. And I just find it fun. And I find that, like, sitting down to do this is just a nice help with my anxiety. It's fun to be able to, like, make something. That's just cool. We don't do that a lot. I'm getting very philosophical over here, right? But, like, we teach kids about creativity and making art, and arts and crafts is a thing, and it's important. And then, you know, we gradually teach them that that's actually frivolous and they need to put it aside and focus and concentrate on more serious things. But, you know, you really just miss doing arts and crafts. There's just something about it that is a very human thing. This need that once your basic needs are met and you have the ability to survive, you begin to make art. I mean, like, we see this in archaeology all the time. Trick is mental, compete with yourself. Yeah, the self-competition is something that, like, I've struggled with, right? Because I am, shocker, a recovering perfectionist. So in my mind, I don't know, I just wind up trying to focus more on having fun than even being better than I was. It's like, I can be better, I can be worse. But the important thing is, am I having fun? If yes, proceed. If no, maybe take a break. That's how I am with skating. It's like, if I get to the point where I'm getting really frustrated or falling down a lot, I'm like, I'm probably tired. I'm gonna sit out a couple songs. Then I'll get back out there and I'll have some friggin' fun. And yes, I am a lot better than I was 4 years ago. I think the last time I went skating, I fell down once, which is the least number of times I have ever fallen down when skating. So that was me. Whoa! Gosh, that was a mug that I just punched with my hand. Okay. Time to weave in the ends. It's funny, this is like Chill Hop Winter Essentials, but I am not really sure if you can find like royalty-free Christmas music places, because I thought that would be fun to put on, and then I was like, I don't know who actually owns all of those songs. I would rather not get a copyright strike today, thank you very much. Ugh. This is just the tedious bit where you have to, like, weave in the ends. Snip off the little yarn tails. As I continue to drop things. That's in there already. Alright, so this is mug number 1, or mug cozy number 1. Got, but what are we missing? Buttons! Yes, of course. The lovely fasteners that will keep everything closed. So I want it to go in right about here. There we go. Rex, hello! How are you? It's great to see you. Alright, let me see. I want some red embroidery floss here. Okay, you want to know how into embroidery I am. This is my box of all of my embroidery thread and beads. She's a big girl. She's full of stuff. But yeah, I use this box pretty much every project I do. There they are. So I think this main button is going to be the little Handmade with Love one, and then we'll sew on a couple of snowflakes. The snowflakes are really more decorative than functional as buttons. So we're gonna take the little Handmade with Love button and sew it right about here. Some of the mug cozies that I have made, I have sewn a couple different buttons, but I can't show them here because they're gifts for people who might be watching the stream. So we're not going to do that because I don't want to spoil the surprise. I'm glad it's Friday. Freaking here. It's exciting that it's Friday. Look at that. Little button. And just tie off those ends here. And snipperoonie. All right, so now we've got a little button. It's gonna go around your lovely mug. Oh, I love how this looks with the white. Definitely gonna make one that's white with red trim on this stream too. Now let's pop open some snowflakes. Look it. Oh, shiny, shiny. Oop. Like I said, these are really more like flare buttons than functional ones. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew them on at some different intervals throughout. So this part will all be the functional bit, so I'm going to avoid there. Probably do like a big guy there, a big guy there. Yeah, I like the look of that. I like the look of that very much. All right. Let's do this one first. Oh no. Oh, this needle is too big. Annoyance abounds. Do I have a smaller one? I must. Ah! I have to have a thinner needle in this somewhere. Yeah. Does that work? Yes. Perfect. Well, the real question is the eye gonna go through, though? It is not. What about this one? Nope. Well, I can't find my, like, normal embroidery needles. So we might be using a beading one, which is very small. Unless I cheat and just sew around the edges of the snowflake, which is not my intent, but beading needles. That's a seam ripper. You know what? We're gonna sew around because I think I can make that look really pretty. I don't know if I love how that looks. So, tiny little beading needle it is. I'm just kind of annoyed now that I can't find the ones I had previously. Also because this involves me having to split my embroidery floss, and I don't wanna. There we go. Now let's see if I can actually thread you without having to resort to a needle threader. You know, if I do, no biggie, but I kind of want to see if I can. Alright, needle threader it is. Get it. Ah! Okay, so, handy little device here. We use this when we're trying to thread something through a really tiny hole. So you put the thread through that thing, right? And then you just put the metal piece through here, loop the thread back around and through that, and then we pull it through. And if I did this correctly, come on, don't break the needle. Oh, come on, there we go. It's a little tricky, but I got it. Now it's threaded. Yay! Alright, snowflake. It's just like doing a needle this tiny and this sharp through yarn. There's just something amusing about that. This needle is so sharp that it like fits right into the skin of my finger without me even noticing. But it's so fine and bendy that there's like no point in me wearing a thimble for it, because I don't really need one. So I just poke myself a lot and then go, oh no, I've been impaled. Yeah, I love the look of that. Much better. Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying watching it. I'm certainly enjoying doing this. I have never done an art and craft stream before, and I am traditionally quite self-conscious when it comes to people watching what I'm making, because it's like, oh my god, somebody's watching me! Alright, let's go back to our bigger needle here for one of the big snowflakes. So I'm really glad to hear that you're enjoying watching it. I thought that this would just be a fun and cozy thing to do for a stream, and I'm very glad that I decided to test that theory, because this is a fun and cozy thing to do. Go around my little button. Don't do it. There's probably a better way to do this than trying to tie these knots by hand. But that's not what I'm doing today, so... Shh. Alright, there we go. To a tiny boy. Tiny little snowflake boy. Eventually. There we go. Finding the little buttonhole in this is a little bit of a tight fit. Okay. last one. There it is. Lost the button for a minute. Stop flopping on me. I'm trying to sew here, do you mind? Hate it when the yarn gets a mind of its own and decides to just do what it wants. Going back in the basket. Look at that, y'all. We did it. And then when we actually put this around a mug, it's gonna look like this. Beautiful little snowflakes. Okay, it's time for the real deal though. The big old fashion show. How does she look on my favorite mug? If she can pass that test, she will surely be good enough for my uncle's mugs. Oh, y'all. Look at this beautiful, beautiful mug sweater. We love to see it. So that's one down. Overall, this took me about an hour to make. I made a little bit of it off stream originally, but that's my mug cozy. So that's the first one. I think we'll make another one on stream too, because I've got some time. I think I'm going to start with the white yarn. And we might finish it as well. We'll see. But I think right now would be a good time for me to go take a little break. I'm gonna go use the bathroom, probably get something to eat because it's heading to be about that time here. Thank you very much, Ryan. That's so kind. Thank you. I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I don't think that that's a selfish thing to say. I genuinely am like, no, I've learned a lot. I've come pretty far in terms of making these things, and also in terms of my own relations to myself as an artiste. So let's see. Oh, hi, it's me. I'm alive. It's my normal. Yeah, there we go. That was so fun. I had a lot of fun making that. I hope you had fun watching. I think it was, this is new, you know, this is different kind of a stream. I like the chill and hang out one. So how about we take a little break. I'm gonna go get some food. Excuse me. And cough after drinking tea that's really hot. And I'll see you all when I get back. So have fun, hydrate, do all that good stuff you gotta do. See you in a minute. Oh, hi, friends. Oh, I'm a bit echoey. Oh, why is that? Audio input capture. Okay, what if I'm like this? Am I still echoing? We may have had too many audio input captures going at once. Fixed! Yes! Did it on the first try. Well, hi, y'all. Welcome back from break. Or my break, at least. Sarah! Hi! Oh my god, it's so good to see you! Like my cat, it's fixed. Like my 2 dogs, it's fixed. Ooh, I want to show you guys something really awesome, just very quickly. A little story time before we go back to the crafting. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so, as some of you may or may not know, I recently started using a walking cane. Like a legit one. Not just a, oh, it's for show thing. Like when I go out and about for long periods of time, just because that is great for me and my body, and it's what I need right now. But I found somebody that I met through the convention scene around here a while ago who made me an amazing walking stick out of D20s and resin. And this is a craft stream, so I just want you all to know. Look at this. Look at how cool this is. It's got the rubber tip. It's got some weight to it. It's got the D20 at the top. It's gonna be amazing for when we can go to conventions in person again. And I love it so much. So it's a song of dice and a tire. She made this for me, custom. And I love it so much. It's a little heavy for like every day. So I don't usually use it if I'm like out running errands. And also I want to get something to like cushion this a little because it's a little, to hold it right now is not like super ergonomic, I guess. But yeah, this is basically like my new favorite thing. It's so great. My everyday one is just purple because it's my favorite color. But yeah, I had to share that. I just had to. Oh, this tea has gone cold. That makes me sad. Oh well. So how about we make another mug cozy, huh? All right, let me get... Nope. There we go. Is that like how it was previously? I feel like it was a little further up, maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying my best here. There we go. That's about where it was last time. Cool. Okay. So this one will also be for my uncle. Wait, did the music change? It did. Okay, hold on. I want to listen to something different. It is. Okay. No. Yes. Cool. We're doing the royalty-free Christmas music, otherwise known as the Nutcracker, which was like a huge part of my life. Speaking of not being very athletic, but doing a bunch of stuff. Thank you. This is my, like, effort to beat back the tide of carpal tunnel getting me. I don't have carpal tunnel, but I'm massively anxious that I'll get it because of the writing editing thing. 2, 3. Also, it just looks cool. Look, it's a little chain. This will be the foundation of my creations. Okay. Maybe. If this yarn behaves itself, it will be. Also, y'all let me know if the music needs to be changed at all. Because it might be too loud or too quiet now, and I'm not sure. Seven, 8. What did I tell ya? Most of this is realizing you don't know how to count, and it's fine. There we go. That's better. Now I'm not, like, putting myself in a really awkward position to make this fit the camera. But yeah, Nutcracker. I did this for many, many years. This year is the year that I have listened to the Nutcracker stuff way more than I have since I was last dancing really actively. And it's been super weird, right? Like, I started doing it for work because I was writing something that was very themed around, like, the Nutcracker and ballets of the time. And I was listening to it, I'm like, wait a second, what year is it? Why am I not wearing a costume? What is going on? And that was just fun. Alright, so, look, it's row 1 of that thing where you saw me just doing the same row over and over and over again. We've done it. Now we're gonna count to 28 again. And that will be the project. Oh, that's so cool. You saw it every year? That is awesome. I remember my first time seeing it when I was very little. I was like 6 or so. And it was just so awesome. It was magical. Like, I was already dancing at that point. But there's just something about getting to see, like, the pros doing it. And I think the one that I saw was, like, a hybrid of pros and, you know, I don't know, like, amateurs or what exactly. Because it wasn't, like, a professional ballet company or anything. But there were people, like, the orchestra were all pros. The principal dancers were all pros. I think they were just, like, hired for the season or something. But my favorite song from this is absolutely the, like, fight between the mice and the toy soldiers. Like, it just gets me excited every time I hear it. The little kids were always cute, and then the second act just wide-eyed at all the pros. Right? I always liked, too, that, like, at least in some of the companies, the people that played, like, the parents and the adults at the Christmas party in the first act were always, like, the teachers or the people that were, like, retired, so they weren't, you know, doing all the super physically intense stuff, but they, like, were still in the show. They just played, like, the grown-ups at the Christmas party that have to get the asshole little brother to quit being a jerk. Like, yes, he's a jerk, but he's also the most fun part of the ballet, because the dancer that gets to play Fritz gets to do a lot of, like, really hilarious acting, too. Because, yes, there is acting involved in ballet. Especially the big, like, story ballets. Yeah. I always thought that that was neat. The teacher thing. go. Whoops. Nope, 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 nope. Splitting that yarn when I don't want to do that. It's gonna look so good. I feel like the best part of making these is gonna be, though, like, yes, they are a gift for Christmas, but they are just generally winter oriented. Like, we're a multi-holiday household in my house, right? Like, I'm Jewish, we do Christmas, we do Hanukkah. I mean, my husband's Jewish too. I say that like, oh, I'm not the only one. But like, that also means that when I'm decorating our house, or when we're both decorating our house, at least I try to look for stuff that's more winter generally, because I also hate that, like, post-holiday slump that people get, where the winter holidays kind of wrap up around, you know, New Year's Eve, and then life sort of goes back to seasonal depression. I joke, but, like, that's a very real concern. And one of the things that I do to, like, try and mitigate that a little is keep decorations up, but I like it to be wintry decorations, you know, because these holidays are over, but the winter is still here to stay for a while, so we just gotta stay super cozy. Which is another reason why I think these little gnome buttons that I have are gonna be so great, because, like, those are generally more winter oriented, especially in folktales. I just have to share them again because I know that we have new people that haven't seen them yet. So hold on. Look at the lads. I love them. They're so cute. We're gonna do those 3 guys, and the last of the little mirroring, there we go, little snowflake buttons over here are gonna go on this white one. Ah, come on, there we go. Oh, thank you. I am glad that you like them. I am glad that your mugs will be graced with them very soon. But yeah, these are gonna be for my uncle, because he is my secret Santa for my extended families thing this year. So the goal is to have these made, and then make him a little card that has a chillin' with the gnomies pun, because they're little gnomes with snowflakes. And because he is a dad and an uncle, he will appreciate the dad joke. And then whenever we all send each other our pictures of us drinking coffee every morning, because that's what we do, not gonna brag, but I kind of started that whole tradition, and I feel very pleased with myself, because now everyone does it. He's gonna have these really cute little things to go around his mugs. Whoop, come on, there we go. Ooh, okay, so like at this part in the ballet, right? If you've seen it before, if you haven't seen it, maybe some people haven't seen it, but basically this is the story of a girl that goes, all I want for Christmas is a little old man doll. And her uncle Drosselmeyer, who's like a wizard magician guy, is like, yes, my child, whatever your heart desires. So he brings her a little old man doll to a Christmas party. This is his entrance music, right? He's all mysterious and does magic, and the lights go down, and, you know, he has all these toys that are super lifelike, right? Including the Nutcracker, and it's gonna come to life later at night. Or maybe not. Maybe it was all just a dream. But Drosselmeyer is low-key the best character in the entire thing, because he just shows up and is like, I'm a wizard, y'all! and then potentially makes all of the other toys come to life in the dream sequence, it's a little unclear. Some ballets, the choreography makes it seem like it's really happening. Some, it's definitely more like a dream sequence. You know, the mice fight and then going to the land of sweets is like, oh, what a lovely dream this little girl had. Yeah, a little old man doll. Like, it's weird. Okay, I guess, like, a nutcracker. Okay, sure. You know, Christmas back then, people getting their, like, little hazelnuts or whatever, and you're not supposed to crack those with your teeth. That's bad for you. Granted, do they have dentistry at this point in time? Who really knows? But yes. I mean, if you've ever listened to a kid say what they want for Christmas or want as a gift, though, it can be really weird things. And kids will also pick up the weirdest things and use them as toys, like TV remotes or car keys, and they're like, no, this is my whoopee, I need it at all times. And I'm like, all right, kid, just give me my keys back when I need to drive. Grandfather, give me a little old man doll. I also love when they choreograph this too, right? Because, like, I always thought it would be super cool to play Drosselmeyer. And fun fact, the Scottish National Ballet now allows people of any gender to audition for the role of Drosselmeyer, so they are casting people who are not just men. Which is great, because, you know, magical toy wizards don't give a fuck about gender norms. They're too busy doing magical toy wizard stuff. Being all mysterious. No, I was never in any of these sort of, like, corps de ballet roles for this. But I always thought it would be really cool to do the corps, because then you get to do the snowflake waltz, which is my favorite aside from the mice and rats. And then Waltz of the Flowers, which I think is like perfect horror movie music, to be honest. Waltz of the Flowers is the perfect non-diegetic music for a horror scene. Right? Like, you want it to be all sounding nice and pretty while someone's getting murdered in a horror movie? Waltz of the Flowers. That's what you want. I was also really pleased to see, speaking of casting for the Nutcracker again, that Pacific Northwest Ballet, which is the local, like, pro company to me, has changed some of their, shall we say, more racist depictions of certain groups within the ballet. Like, the second half of the ballet has, like, the Land of Sweets, and it's basically a bunch of dances themed after sweets and treats from different countries, right? There's, like, a hot chocolate dance, there's a peppermint dance, there's a marzipan dance, and then there's the, like, Chinese tea dance, which in a bunch of, like, older choreographed versions of the ballet has some, like, really racist stereotypical stuff in the costuming and the choreography. So I was very pleased to see that Pacific Northwest Ballet has changed the choreography and the costuming so that instead of these sort of, like, you know, the type of, like, racist against Chinese people, Chinese Exclusion Act stuff with the Fu Manchu mustache and, like, the pigtail and the stereotypical moving, that's all gone. And they replaced it by creating a character that's called the Green Tea Cricket, which is super cool, because someone just gets to dress up in a bug costume and pop out of a tea box and do a dance. And I love that. I think that's great. The mice and rats scared you as a kid? Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially, did you ever see one of the ones where the Rat King had, like, the 3 heads or the 7 heads or whatever? The ones with the multiple heads are some of my very favorite costumes. That actually comes from the Hoffman fairy tale of the Nutcracker. There's a bunch of different versions out there. I know way too much about this stuff. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I'm not going to see it this year. But hopefully in years to come, I would like to go see PNB do it. And I want to see this green tea cricket. Okay, time to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Cool. I didn't miss anything. Hooray! Know a lot about a lot comes with being intelligent and well-read. Yep, it comes with a lot of introvert time for sure. Also, if I get into a topic, I don't just get into it casually. I then want to know immediately everything that I can about it, and all versions of the thing, and all of the weird minutia and fun facts and little-known tidbits. That's just how I have my fun, and I love it. God, this tea is surprisingly good. I got myself a tea advent calendar for this year. So it's like a little bag of, you know, new tea every day. Because I don't have enough tea already. Because I'm not gradually replacing my blood type with just tea. No, I needed more tea. So more tea I went out to procure. And so far, there's only been, like, one dud, which I'm very impressed with. It was, like, a cherry marzipan tea, which sounded like it was going to be really delicious, and then I put it in the water, and it just tasted like hot water, even after it had steeped for, like, way longer than it was supposed to. And I was like, that was disappointing, but that was the only one so far. All of the others, even the ones that are flavors I don't typically gravitate towards, I've really enjoyed so far. Even this one, which is Arabica or Arabica. I don't actually know how you pronounce that. I've only ever read it. Dragon Tea Horde. Oh my goodness, yes. I don't think Lydia's here, but Lydia even sent me a little washi tape of little dragons in teacups, and their little dragon breath was keeping the tea hot. And I've never wanted something to be true quite so much as that. Whoops. Don't lose that second loop. So yeah, once I get, like, done with making all of these, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna make myself some cozy socks. I started a bunch of cozy sock making this time last year, and I made cozy socks for everybody except me. And then I looked around and went, why did I do that? Why didn't I make myself socks? So I picked up some really cool yarn at a craft fair. And I had a nice talk with the lady running the stall. And she said, you know, January and February, if you're a fiber artist, is the time that you make your projects, for yourself. And I said, you know what? You're right. I am going to make a project for myself. I'm going to make myself some nice, lovely fuzzy socks. So I bought some yarn. Where is it? I want to show you because it's just so pretty. I got the hand spun yarn. And this is a local maker. Oh, I did pay for it. It was like a $25 skein of yarn. But look at it. The texture is so nice. Like, I just rub my face on it because I'm a cat and I like to do that. But yeah, the business is called Yarnarchy. And they're local here. Hand spun, hand painted worsted weight yarn. My precious. It's gonna be my socks and I'm gonna love it so much. Now I lost count, so let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Cool. 4 more rows. That'll be nice. Amazed by how quick I did this, but also don't know how to crochet, so it's all magic. Thank you. So like this is probably the, God, I don't know. How many of these have I made recently? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? This is the 7th one? This is the 7th one that I have made in like not that long. So now I'm kind of going off muscle memory, but this is actually a really good sort of beginner crochet project because you only need to know 2 stitches, the single crochet and the double crochet. And those are kind of like basic ones that every other crochet project is built off of. So not only is it kind of simple because you just do the same basic things, it actually helps kind of get those ingrained in your head so that if you go do something more complicated or more complex, you're like, oh yeah, I know this basic one. Okay. $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20, $21, $22, $23, $24, $25, $26, $27, $28. Oh, boom, right on the money. That's it. Okay, buttonhole time, y'all. We're gonna make this the same size as the previous one, especially because this is really like stretchy yarn. This is acrylic yarn. That's part of what keeps it so cheap. This is the typical, you know, here's the much diminished skein. It's very floppy now, but that's like the sort of $5 big skein of yarn you get at the craft store, and they always have it on sale. Like there's always some deal or something going on where they're like, oh yeah, just wait, I'm stitching for 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's always some sale going on where it's like you can buy one get one free or half off or 5 for the price of 3. I don't know, something like that. Just don't ever go to the craft store without coupons. Like, seriously. Don't do it. Your friend tells you, don't go to the craft store without coupons. You gotta believe me. It's very important. And in each of the next 3 stitches, okay. 1, 2, and 3. So here's the other thing that's kind of cool about this. I'm rereading the Tamora Pierce books now, right? The Alana books, but I never read Circle of Magic or any of the ones that have like thread magic. But now I'm thinking I might want to. Like, I never read them as a kid, but I'm thinking I'd probably really enjoy them as an adult because of how much I like sewing and crocheting. And I saw somebody once say, crocheting isn't just a hobby, it's a post-apocalyptic life skill. And I was like, yes. It's kind of magic, it's kind of badass, it's a lot of fun. The danger is you just get really into getting a lot of yarn. That can be a problem. Okay, buttonhole time. Here it comes, fight between the mice and the rats. Soon. Yeah, this is like, okay, so the first time I ever took my husband to see the Nutcracker, this scene that like is about to happen musically is super trippy, right? Because the whole first act up until this point is a Christmas party, right? I want a little old man doll. Of course, my child, you may have this. Asshole brother Fritz is basically just like the equivalent of a kid that had way too much candy and is just being a jerk to all the other kids at this point, to the point where then he eventually breaks said little old man doll. And of course, Clara is like, oh, I'm so sad. My old man is dead. And her uncle Drosselmeyer, or godfather, depending, whatever it is basically like, don't worry, kid, I'll fix it. And then she goes to sleep, and weird things start to happen. Like, she begins to see her uncle, like, turning the cuckoo clock into a life-size thing. The mice are starting to come run around and, like, terrorize her, and the toys are coming to life, and the Christmas tree starts growing. And my husband had no idea what to expect when we saw this for the first time, so he turns to me as the Christmas tree starts going and is like, what is happening? He's like, this just got so much trippier. And I'm like, oh, just you wait. Because then after we have the life-size toys fight the life-size mice and rats, the little old man doll turns into a real boy and whisks her away to the land of sweets. Cool. Look at that. Dun 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 dun. Buttonhole right there. So now it's edging time. Okie doke. We're gonna do the edge in red so that we are complementing the color that we did last time. Yeah, the way that they build the growing Christmas tree is amazing because it's on the stage the entire time, right? Like, during the Christmas party, all the kids are like, ooh, Christmas presents, and the adults are like, stop it, kids. Don't open them yet. And you think everything is fine and dandy until it starts to grow, and then you realize they have engineered this to look smaller than it actually is. And then it begins to grow, and grow, and grow, and it's very exciting. What's dangerous for some people is going to a craft store and grabbing a cart on the way in. It's me. I am some people. There are just days where you have to do it because you know what you're gonna do. Scenic Design Heart loved that. Yes, right? It was always so cool, like, watching how that worked and seeing, especially seeing kids, you know, who it's maybe their first time, just react with such surprise to that. That, and then sometimes the other bit that I love of the scenic design is occasionally the trip to the land of sweets. They do Clara and the Nutcracker on, like, a flying bed. And I always loved the way that that was designed. Sometimes it's just like, ooh, we're sort of doing a dreamy walk down the lane, or, you know, it's a bed that's on wheels, and they kind of magically, with the lighting and stuff, make it look like a dream sequence. But I've seen it before where the bed actually flies, and it is super cool. Here it is, my favorite song in the whole thing. Sure we do this. The beauty of the acrylic yarn too is that it can handle machine washing pretty well. I would still do it on delicates, but like if I was using a cozy like this and I just spilled my drink everywhere and it got all over the cozy, I could just toss this in like a normal washing machine. I'd still run it on delicates, but it'll hold up just fine. There are definitely other yarns where it's like, oh no, you never put that in a washer. Like that gets, you know, your OxyClean and a toothbrush on being extra careful with this piece. But this kind of thing, yeah, washing machine is just fine. Whoop. There we go. I also love that, like, the little old man doll that comes to life can't defeat the toy or the rats by himself. Oh no, who defeats the rats? Clara, because she takes off her shoe. Which, mind you, she's in bed at this point. So it's probably more like a slipper or a slipper sock and throws it at the Rat King's head. And if that isn't a rogue rolling a nat 20 on a sneak attack, I don't know what is, because it like instantly kills the Rat King. And I mean, they're like fighting and shooting cannons and doing all this other stuff. What actually stops him? A shoe. And the power of love. I'm gonna snip you, because you're essentially already stitched in, so I am not weaving in that end. Haha! Making my life easier for myself. And there's the part where they drag the Rat King's corpse off the stage, and they're all sad, and I'm like, oh. And now comes the magical transformation, where the Nutcracker turns into a real boy. Weirdly enough, there's a VHS version of the Nutcracker that I had growing up that was like a filming of the ballet. And the real boy that the Nutcracker turned into was Macaulay Culkin. Which I just thought was so weird and also amusing, because I guess maybe he did some dancing, but like the kid from Home Alone, take off the Nutcracker mask and it's Macaulay Culkin all along. That just cracks me up still. That is one of the adaptations where they do the movie magic of the flying bed, but they're also, you know, doing a movie, so they have some visual effects that live theater does not have access to. That's a choice. I know, right? It was so strange. And it wasn't like it was a celebrity casted Nutcracker, you know, like the way that if it was made today, it probably would be like, yeah, let's just get as many celebrities as we can in this. It was just a bunch of like regular ballet folks and then Macaulay Culkin. Still don't really get what was going on there. Remember to double your stitches at the corners. Is that a celebrity these days? Sure, but like this was when he was a kid. I don't know that he's a celebrity now, but certainly when this like version of the Nutcracker was filmed, he's still a kid. Ah! Snip! Snip! Oh no, please don't tell me I'm gonna need a scissors sharpener. I know it's not that big of a deal to get them sharpened, but it's always just like, ugh, why did you do this to me? Why couldn't you just have stayed sharp? This is it. The Nutcracker magically becomes a real boy. Oh, cymbals crashing, trumpets blare, and the crowd goes wild. Oh, stop splitting, silly yarn. Don't do this to me. There we go. And behold, it is done. Da-da-da! Now, if only it would also transform into a real boy. Well, that'll be nice, because now we can do some buttons. Look at that. Little buttonhole. Just looks like a very long bottle. Awesome. Alright, so first things first, we want to do one of our Handmade with Love buttons, because I'm sentimental like that. Handmade for you with love. I'm gonna pop that right about there. Use you as a marker and get my big needle. Look at me, almost using up an entire, like, bobbin of embroidery floss on this. I kid you not, the, like, giant stash of embroidery floss I have was a value pack at Walmart that I must have bought when I was, like, I don't know, 15? So this was, like, 15 years ago at this point-ish. And I still haven't gone through all of it. And I have consistently continued to embroider things. And it's just so much darn floss. Can't be stopped. Yay. Awesome. There we go. Now we can button it. And it is a cozy, but wait. We are not finished, for no. I must do this in the most extra way I can and add extra buttons. Because I feel like it. I'm gonna open up these gnomes. This is another reason why you should never go to the craft store without coupons, because, like, normally these things, these little, like, packets or whatever of buttons cost, like, $4 a piece. And I think I got, like, 5 packets of buttons for $7. Come on. Focus. Focus, please. I don't like it when you don't focus. Come on. There it is. Boom. So I think we're gonna do a couple little of these guys. And some snowflakes. Probably like so. Maybe like that. Do I have something else that could fit button-wise? Not really. That's okay. before that, though, you're gonna get a tiny strand of some thread for the annoying tiny buttons that are the snowflakes. Because I need this to look a certain way, and I can't do it without my teeny weeny beading needle. I don't know where my normal needles went. That's a problem. You know what's a real problem? Is that since I can't find them, I just might have to go back to the craft store? Oh no! Going back to the craft store? What a travesty! That'll be so hard for me. It'll be so difficult to control myself inside such a place. I don't know. Maybe I should just stay home. Maybe I should just retire from crochet altogether. Okay, threader. This is another one of those things where, like, so with, like, chronic illness and stuff, people talk a lot about pacing, right? Which basically, if you've ever heard of, like, the spoon theory or whatever, it's kind of similar to that, right? You have so many spoons where you get through the day and you're doing your things and all of your stuff costs spoons. If you have a disability or a chronic illness, as I do, you kind of have to plan what you're going to spend spoons on for that day. So maybe doing like a certain length of, I don't know, like cooking, standing and cooking the meal is what I spend my spoons on that day. Showering costs spoons. Everything costs some spoons, right? That's just part of life. But pacing is kind of similar to that. It's where you just try to make sure that you're going to the point of your activity that you can do without completely crashing and burning, and always trying to stay just under that crash and burn threshold. And holidays make this hard. Because holidays are super, like, extrovert times, which can be fun, you know, under normal circumstances, which we most emphatically are not, however. Holidays can be very extroverted times, and there's a lot of, like, socializing and parties, and, like, if you have a job that does an office party, that can be a thing. If you have families, you know, all that stuff. That takes a lot of energy, right? Takes more energy if you're sick. A lot more energy. As does a lot of the fun stuff, too. The fun stuff also costs energy. So you've got to be really mindful of that. And so for me, some of that is making sure that stuff like gifts get done super early. If I really want to give a gift to somebody, I probably start working on it really early in the year. This is kind of exceptional because I just found out who my Secret Santa was, but I'm also like, yeah, I can do this for this amount of time. That's going to be a good length of time for me to work on a gift. Don't push myself to do more than that. That way lies fatigue and crashing. Boom! I love how every time I say something that's like wise and profound, the symbols clash. I'm like, look at me. I'm being so cool right now. Let's see. We're gonna sew on a little gnome. I think we'll just tie this, actually. I'm not gonna do too much more sewing. It's not the way, but that is adorable and great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a balancing act. Life is just one big balancing act. And then sometimes people throw, like, fireballs and flaming torches at you while you're trying to balance. And then you just gotta go with the flow. So what I'm saying is, this holiday season, and pretty much any other time, don't feel pressured. If somebody is trying to put pressure on you to do something that you don't have energy for, tell them that is not the way. You need to do what's best to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, bad things will happen. And then you will be sad. And I do not want any of you here to be sad. I want you to be happy. And have great, fulfilling lives. So, just say no to overcommitment. Oh no, there's a knot in my floss. That's annoying. How did that get there? I was so careful. Ay, ay, ay. Also for me, this has, you know, resulted in me deciding, hey, what are the things that are super important to me? Being cozy, having my fuzzy socks, doing my stuff like lighting our Hanukkah candles, which is now over, but that's important to me, so, you know, I was doing that and enjoying it and making the things that I am enjoying count. Alright, low-key, this song is like my least favorite part of the entire ballet, because it's kind of boring. At this point in the ballet, it's usually like a class of children that are a little bit more advanced, but they're just angels, and all they do is walk around in a circle. And basically they're giving, you know, the people backstage and stuff time to change and dress and change the sets. But I just never really have fun watching it, and it's kind of like, oh, boring. Sorry, angel children. It's just not my thing. Now we've got a little green lad. But this part is pretty cool. This is the part where they're like, hey guys, we've come to a land made of nothing but candy. Hooray! Ah! These scissors do need to be sharpened. Leave me alone to die. Angel kids look like pasta noodle angels. They really do! And their little halos look like plates. And all they do is go around in a circle and tiptoes, and I get it's important. They're learning to flutter their little feet before they get their point shoes, but God, it's boring. Come for the crochet and comfy, stay for the Nutcracker ballet hot takes. Or stay, because, I don't know, you still enjoy this, even though it's fucking weird. I actually still have, here's my, like, sweet story, right? So, like, first time I ever saw the Nutcracker was with my mom and her sister, my Aunt Cece, and their mom, my Nana. And she was the one who took the most care of me when I was little. Like, I spent all my time with her. And she died when I was very little, too. And I miss her every day, still. But I still have. She got me a little Nutcracker, a little old man doll of my very own that was a Christmas tree ornament. That first time I ever saw the ballet with her. And I still have it. And it goes on my tree every year. And I just think that's really neat. Look at this! Look at the lads! They're having such a good time. So if we button you, you look like so. Oh, sweet. All right, now here comes the real bit here. Fashion show. How does it look on a real mug? She's a tight fit. She's a tight fit, Jimmy, but she's beautiful. Look at that. Have you ever seen such a nicely dressed mug? I ask you, look at this. Love it. All right, let's write him a little letter. And then my Christmas will be complete for my uncle. Actually, I could even wrap this here. Yeah, let's do the whole damn thing. Let's wrap the present, write a letter. I'm gonna go grab some supplies. Give me just one moment. Alright. Let's see, how is this? Here's the thing you may not know about me. Because that's also the unofficial title of the stream. Here's the thing you may not know about me. But I was a professional gift wrapper for a time. So that's kind of cool. Oh my gosh! Raven! Hello! Thank you so much for that raid. How are you, friend? It's been a minute since we last got to hang out. How have you been? Alright, let's take this. Also, look at it. We got some dinosaur paper. We got some dinosaur paper, folks. This is technically not up to work standards. However, that's fine, because I don't work there anymore. They're a little bit long for ends. Let's chop those off. I know. I found this because, again, like never going to the craft store without coupons, I never pay full price for wrapping paper. You just go at the end of, you know, whatever the season is, pick up your wrapping paper then. And I could not believe that there was still dino wrapping paper in the store after the holidays were over last year, because that was just incredible to me that people would pass up these adorable little reptiles, but kind of also birds. It's debatable. In the snow. In the snow. Like, and I say this as someone that has been skiing a grand total of once and hated it, but I would totally get back out there if it meant that I could hang out with dinosaurs. Alright. Some tape. We got some just like little blue and gold twine. When I used to work as a gift wrapper, it was at a bookstore. Really amazing place. Still try to go there all the time. And we had like bookstore labeled, I guess. No, let's do that. We had bookstore labeled ribbon that we had to wrap all the gifts with. 60 bucks a spool, y'all. That is how much it costs to have custom-made ribbon for your store. Hey, look at that. Isn't that cute? Do I have like a tag or something I can use? Maybe I'll just like write the letter and... Maybe I'll just write the letter and then like attach it somehow. Let's do that. But real quick, clear off this area for a moment because I have an idea for something cool. So I have a little wax burner. It's not a wax burner. It's technically a little glue melter pot that will melt things, like if you're, you know, doing hair or something like that. Tend to be used for a salon. Alright. We got a little card here. So I'll write him a little note. Cool. Just wrote him a little note. Just something nice from me. I want to put a couple... I think I have some, like, kind of fun Christmas stickers around here. Ugh. I have way too many stickers. I make no bones about that. I think I have dinosaur Christmas stickers, so if I do, I'm going to use those. Or if I have any little gnomes, because we're also doing the gnome thing. I might not. I've got hedgehogs. I got cats. Oh, I have some knitting stickers. We can use some of those. Hi, fresh out of gnomes. Oh wait, I might. Hey, I have little elves. That'll work. That's close enough to gnomes, right? Nobody tell the dragon game nerds. Elves and gnomes are the same. Ha 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 ha. Runs away and hides. Okay. I do think, though, we've got to put the little dino snow globes on the front. Oh, there was a gnome on this all along. Amazing. I am a professional. No, I am not. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll put some of these little gnomes. They've got like one that's foot falls down in a snowdrift, and I'm just gonna put these on the inside of the card above the letter. Because part of the joys of millennial life during a panini is that I'm not actually gonna be there in person for this celebration, right? I'm not local to where my family lives, so I will not be there on Christmas Eve. But, because it is still very important to me, that is why I am making this letter, because it's just saying everything that I would say to my uncle if I were giving him this gift in person. And the stickers just add some extra little razzle-dazzle. Dun, 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 dun. All right, this dance from the ballet, dude, so much friggin' fun. I always thought this would be super fun to do, because this is the one where, like, Mother Ginger comes out, and it's, the character is just a giant dress, basically, with a bunch of kids hiding under the skirt, and it's just a delight. Here we go. Little gnomes. Friggin' adorable. His name on there. We'll give him the last of the little elf stickers. Some of those stickers, they give you ones, and they're just way too darn small. Alright, so we gotta do little elf snow globe. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how cute. Okay. He's gonna love that. We'll do the little dinosaur snow globe. And then we'll give him a little dinosaur and a little gnome. And some snowflakes. And all will be right with the world. We'll give him a little rainbow. Happy Christmas from your very gay nibbling uncle. It's funny because I never knew this when we were kids, but me and my cousins, between all of the 8 children, sorry, 9, 10? How many kids are there across families? Between 8 and 10, depending on who's counting. We've got way more buy disasters per capita in my family, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, look at that. Isn't that cute? I hope he's not watching this. There's like no way, but also like I'm paranoid. Let's get some wax. Whoa! This is just little like sealing wax pods. My best friend Abby, who has been my best buddy since college, actually got me a wax seal as a gift a couple years back because I really like to write letters. And I am a fancy bitch. So we're gonna use the little seal that she got me. Normally I would just heat the little wax beads in this with like a lighter underneath it, but I've actually found that when I'm doing a lot of letters at once, or if I'm really trying to mix colors, the wax pot is the way to go. Or the glue pot, as it is, really, properly. Alright, we're done with that, so I'm gonna unplug it. So as to avoid being a fire hazard. Yes! Look at how pretty that is. You love it so much. All right, so I'm gonna let that cool. And then we're going to just attach it here. How do I want to do this? One could always do a little, like, tag thing. That could be cute. Maybe just tie it on? I don't know. Ooh, wait a second. Do I have, like, a cute little paper clip I could use? I probably have a cute little paper clip, right? I hope I do. This is like the sticker / ephemera folder. Got a fair amount of like pager clips. Probably have a paper clip. Like little, yeah, sure, why not? You can use these as like bookmarks or something. Yeah, those are adorable. Let's use those. So we've got a couple little ba-don't bump page clips. Let's tape you down with, I've got a little washi of presents. Little presents. You know, it's weird because I've never done a crafting stream before, right? If you were here earlier, you may have heard me mention that I tend to be very self-conscious about people watching me craft. Because, I don't know, it just feels kind of like a more private thing to me. But this has been really nice, and y'all have been so sweet. Like, everybody has been so complimentary, and I'm just like, guys, thanks, gosh. And it's also, like, surprising me, because I didn't really set this up. I just kind of said, fuck it, I'm gonna stream some crafts today. And I have an alarming amount of craft supplies within easy reach of where I am right now. There we go. Check that out. That's fun. So that's nice. It'll travel well. That's very important if you're doing, or if you're giving people gifts and they live far away or you have to ship things. Put myself back up here. Hi, it's me again. But that was quite enjoyable. I am very glad to have had you all along for the ride. 10 out of 10 we'll watch again. Oh, thank you. That's like really seriously so sweet. Thank you so much. I got a little bit of cleaning up to do. But yeah, I think we'll probably find somebody to raid. I'm gonna go out and get some sunshine and vitamin D, or what's left of it, before the sun goes truly down. Let's see who's live now that we can go share some love with. Looks like Summer is live playing Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's go say hi to Summer. So yeah, thanks everybody who showed up to watch. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a very happy holiday season if you are celebrating, and if you are not, you know, just like I wish you all the best regardless. Remember, it's fun to make new things. It's fun to be bad at things. It's fun to do things just because you can. And also, it's just been really fun hanging out with y'all. So, goodbye, my dears. I will see you next time. Let's go give Summer some love.
God, Cleo! Cleo? Cleo! Every time Bryce isn't around, something happens.